So I wanted to introduce that video. Clearly did a bad job. Hilton, thanks for that. Thanks for the excellent stuff on the dynamic discount. So just to make the point where we're at now, we're trying to explain the concept of vitality money, how it plays out at the bottom. But fundamentally, this bank is about core banking capabilities, and we're trying to change everything. So the aesthetics you see is kind of turning it on its side. It's something we think is more usable. Symbolism we think is a lot better, and that's the idea. But what's exciting is we built this bank from the ground up. Low legacy, the latest technology, the ability to do things we think right and effectively with the best mobile technology, the best core stacks, etc., etc. And Barry will talk to you a bit later. It gives fantastic opportunities. Seamless, real-time, simple ability to replicate and change things on the fly. So I want to talk a bit to the core banking functionality that sits on the back of Vitality Money. The two are integrated, as I hope is clear, because the interest rates that you're paying in the bank are dynamic. They're funded through from Vitality Money. So these two things coexist. But the first point to make is that there's a whole range of account architectures that you can choose with Discovery Bank. So at the one end, Discovery One is kind of the core, most basic account. It really is the landing page or the landing point, I would argue, for Discovery card holders as you bring them across, and that will happen over a period. But it offers this integrated transaction account and credit card account all in one, so kind of a seamless integration. It has the dynamic interest rates, saving and borrowing that I spoke about. It has a whole lot of functionality. It's empowered with Samsung Pay, Fitbit and Garmin, so you can use these devices to pay through the Discovery One account. It is pay-as-you transact, so it's a very low-cost entry point. Salaries can be put in there, can be used as a secondary account. It can be where the Discovery card will be, so it can do all of these things in a very, very efficient way. One of the exciting things embedded in all of our accounts is this concept of a Vitality savings account. Hilton did allude to it, so embedded in that Discovery One account is a Vitality savings account. So all of your dynamic discounts, your cashbacks, your rebates, all of it is put into that account. It's cash. You can use it when you like, you can cash it out. The active reward points Hilton spoke about can be put in there and they become cash. So this is really a strong accumulation account, kind of a disciplined savings, and it also enjoys the dynamic savings rate that I spoke about. So Discovery One is really the kind of the landing point at one end of the spectrum. If I go right across the other, Discovery One Plus is maybe the most complex and I think the most comprehensive. It has the credit card, separate transaction accounts, savings pockets. You can open up additional accounts if you want. It has the highest levels of dynamic interest rates, dynamic discount that Hilton spoke about. So there's maximum kind of incentives there. It's priced on a bundle basis, so it offers you a very, very comprehensive set of banking capabilities in really one suite that wraps the whole thing together. So you will find that Discovery Bank has a range of different architectures you can choose. All of them are predicated on, I think, very, very powerful technology that make it simple, accessible, and transparent. Let me talk a bit about the technology embedded in the bank, because there's some really exciting stuff I think we can and are doing with this technology that really makes banking, I think, more accessible and frankly more fun. The first thing to say is that the entire bank exists on the mobile, right? It's branchless, there's no need to go into a branch at all, but this is not an excuse for a service model that's inefficient. There are call centers and people to speak to, but there's no need to do anything. Everything is just on the face of the bank. Barry will take you through the team that's built this bank, give you a sense of the scale of the app, but it does a whole lot of incredibly powerful things. I'll allude to some of them here. You'll see them on the slide, that you can see your transaction history. There's an intelligent document vault that can get all your till stuff, so everything accessible, history there physically in your statements. You can track everything, your spend, budgets, you can set goals, so all of that aspect is in there. You can allocate credit between your overdraft and your transaction account dynamically. You can pause your card, you can set and manage your PIN, etc., etc. And then, of course, as I think Hilton made clear, all of the Vitality Money functionality is on the app. So all of those different aspects can be managed through the Discovery Bank app. So the first point you're making, you'll see a bit later, the app is very, very powerful, and we would argue, I think, is the most sophisticated in the market. But let me talk a bit about payments, because the ability to change the payment environment and to try and get rid of cash as much as possible is something that our bank is focused on doing. So the first point is we built an architecture that can pay instantly. You can pay instantly today. It's often not available all the time, but it's very expensive. In the case of Discovery Bank, you pay instantly, and the cost of it is almost free. I think the slide is incorrect, Barry, I may be wrong. I think it's R5 on the Discovery One Plus, Discovery One account, and free on Discovery One Plus. So you pay instantly at a very, very low cost. Any time of the day, 24/7, makes accessing payments very simple. The second point is something I'm very excited about, and this really is the power of the Discovery community. As you know, we cover millions of people, we work intimately with them, and our research shows that in our Discovery community, more than 50% of interactions, social interactions, financial interactions, are with other people inside the Discovery community, right? So we have all of the data, we know the bank accounts, we know the details, so it makes payments incredibly easy. So this is what we're going to be doing, right? You can pay anyone inside the Discovery community through your contacts. No loading up a bank account, simply download your contact, pay the person, touch it, and the payment is made. Nothing to be done at all. The first time the payee gets the message that they're being paid, they have to verify through a few keystrokes, but thereafter they're registered and they're done. We're going to extend this through a register system to people that are not in the Discovery community. But as I said, our research shows a huge amount of interactions that we have collectively of people inside that community. The other one of payments is that we're integrating the healthcare system to the banking system. So the two will meet inside Discovery Bank, right? And that provides a whole lot of opportunities that will roll out over time. But the first one you'll see is trying to get rid of cash in the healthcare system. Where we're starting is in the pharmacy. This ludicrous thing that you get this basket tied together like a criminal. I've been cuffed on the odd occasion walking out with this thing. But the idea is to get rid of this, right? You go to the counter, to the pharmacy, you get your medicine, and if you're a Discovery Bank client, you walk out the door. You don't go to the till whatsoever. All of the reconciliations take place between the bank and the healthcare system. So trying to make payments really simple, especially for people inside the Discovery community, using contacts, using the ability to reconcile the banking system with the healthcare system. And then the third thing I mentioned about the technology, something I'm really excited about, our research showed is very important, is family banking. You see, one of the powerful things that we know if you're on the Discovery Health Medical Scheme or the schemes that we administer, we know the family unit, right? So we can link all of these things together. So if you're a Discovery Bank client and you're on the Discovery Health Medical Scheme, embedded in your bank account is a family tree. We know your family, right? And so we can offer the most incredibly powerful banking functionality, as you can see. We can make collective savings easy. You can set up child accounts on the face of your mobile. There's nothing to do, kind of almost drop and drag. You can manage the different transaction accounts. Your spouse and your children will follow the card cover that you have. You can manage the credit limits. You can oversee transactions. You can track and trace. You can manage a whole lot of different issues. You can see the credit limit and allocate it to different members of the family. So every single aspect of the account can be managed. And again, you'll be able to have the Vitality Money benefits and rewards shared in a specific kind of way between the different family members. So by making family banking completely accessible, our idea is on the face of the phone, you can create accounts for your wife and children, or spouse and children, allocate every single aspect of it, and really make family banking a reality. Simple to use, nothing to be done, doing it on the face of the mobile. So let me try and summarize at this point. I hope it hasn't been too complex and unwieldy. I'm giving a lot of detail. On the basis, Vitality Money, it helps people assess and manage and segment where they are through the normal approach. Do the right things, earn Vitality points, get a status. From the status, you will earn dynamic interest rates on saving and borrowing. That means on borrowing, you go from a market rate down to -6. So you treat it a diamond like a corporate. You're going to borrow at the same rate that Discovery borrows on an unsecured basis. On savings, you're going to from market up 50 basis points per status up to market plus 3%. As Hilton showed, your status and how you manage your health will drive dynamic discounts at 3x the Vitality benefits. And then we've incorporated the active reward mindset into a third ring, a money ring, and using the same learnings from Apple Watch, but really Apple Watch is to physical activity, while iPhone is to the bank, and bringing them all together. Sitting on top of that is, I think, a very sophisticated banking capability from Discovery One to Discovery One Plus, that really, I think, makes things simple, entirely in your control, but critically payments, family banking, and all will follow, make it very, very simple to use. So Hilton and I hope we've spoken a lot about the kind of philosophically, the philosophy and the design principles behind Discovery Bank. I want to hand over to Barry Hawes, the CEO of the bank, who's led the team that's built, I think, this amazing capability. We're at Barry to really give a sense of the technology of getting the account, how it looks, how it feels, and really the principles in action. Let me hand over to Barry Hall. I'll come up just now.